right. So today we're going to talk about judging a book by its cover, right? Is it right? Is it wrong? Should we do it? Should we not do it? Right? I'm going to give some context because I was having a conversation last night. I was in one of my communities, one of my mastermind / coaching communities, and we were discussing paid advertising, not paid advertising. It was a sales call and we were discussing, I forget, but we got to, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, which, right, we shouldn't, but it's nothing we can do about it. We do, right? And I came up with a really good story because I'm trying to get better with my stories, right? So let me share my personal story, and then I'm going to go into context on some other ways, right? And for even you, like if you're like, no, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, I'm going to show you how you do, no matter what you think or what you feel. We just do it, right? It's human nature. So I was on a call and Colin, he was like, Jerome, why are you always dressed like that? You dress so professionally. You come off very professional. The reason why, and I've told this story before, is because I get treated better when I dress like a professional, right? So I was going to, like, this was like, I think I was like 19 years old. I was getting my life together, right? I had just came off of thug life, running the streets and doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to do. And I was in school and they were, we had like a career day where we dressed up. We played the part and we were getting ready to do like interviews, right? And there was a teacher named Ray. Ray dressed like really nice. And he was like, yeah, Jerome, you should dress like this, do that. And I was like, okay, cool. I dressed that way. I didn't really like it, right? Because I had just came off of like being like street person. And I used to drink like Arizona iced tea a lot. So once in a while at school, I would go walk down the street and go get me an Arizona iced tea because you get those big cans of tea for like 99 cents. So I would go do that once in a while. And this day I did that. So I was thirsty. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get me an Arizona iced tea. I wanted to do that. There was a Walgreens, right? I went to Walgreens to get me an Arizona iced tea. And when I walked in there, I was in line and this cashier, I can't remember her name, but she helped change my life, right? This lady said, sir, how can I help you? Right. And she called me sir because of the way that I was dressed, my appearance. Right. So I was looking professionally dressed, looking like I was ready to go to a job interview. And I was like, man, I really like the way that I'm being treated based off just how I'm dressed. So that's a big part of the reason why I dress the way I dress. And I say that, right? So one, you can understand my story. And two, so you can know that people do judge a book by its cover. So let me give you another story, right? This was still me coming off like I was a street, whatever we want to call it, right? And I was walking down the street, right? Or I was dressing like a street person, right? I'm from Philadelphia, so in the hood, right? So I was walking down the street. I was in South Philadelphia, and I was going to headed to the train. And I was walking. I can't remember exactly what I had on street clothes, right? Clothes. I think I had on a hoodie or something like that. And I was walking. There was this lady all the way across the street. I remember it was like Oregon Avenue. There's this lady and she was driving by and I looked at the car and she locked the door. And she locked the door because I looked like I would do something to her car, right? That was her natural instincts because that's the way that I was dressed. So I bring up those two stories so we can that's no matter the reality, people judge books by the cover, right? That's just what we do as humans. This morning, I made a post and I said, look, no matter how good of a person I am, if I walked up to you and I had blood all over my clothes and I was angry, you're going to make particular judgments about me, right? And naturally, if you see me like that, I got blood over my clothes, I'm angry, I'm approaching you, right? Your natural instincts are going to say, stay away from that guy. And what are you doing? You're judging a book by its cover. You don't know what happened to me, right? You don't know if I was guilty, I was the murderer, and I just murdered someone for some reason, right? Are you going to try to get to know me? Probably not. Your instincts are going to kick in and you're going to judge a book by its cover, right? So even though emotionally we don't want to be judged by the cover and it's not right, the reality is that we do. That's how the world works. So another really good example that I've come up with to show people that we do this naturally, right? No matter how much we want emotionally, is we actually a real book, right? So where's that quote come from, right? And I do books, and I know how important it is. People judge the book by a cover, no matter what we want to say, right? So this is my book, and it communicates particular things. Whether you can read or not, it says something. It gives a certain persona, a certain perception. You're like, okay, this book is about, right? More than likely, if you can read, you're going to say, this book is about real estate marketing implementation. Why? Because that's what the cover is communicating, right? Now, the cover says real estate marketing implementation, but for all of you know, I can write a romance novel inside of this book. This can be all romance, but because you're going to, guess what? Judge the book by its cover, no matter what I say, right? You're going to believe that this book is all about real estate marketing implementation, right? This is a romance. It's a romance. You can't judge it by a cover. It's a romance book. You can't judge it by a cover. It's a romance book, right? So no matter what I do, if I hold up a book and I say, what's in here, you're going to make instinctually certain perceptions and judgments about that book, right? This book is what? It's all about real estate marketing implementation, according to the cover. Now, no matter what I tell you, right? I can tell you this book is about a romance, and it won't be about the romance until the last chapter, but you won't know until you get to know what's inside, right? So instinctually and naturally, what we do is we judge books by the cover. So another good example, what do you think this book is, right? You're going to judge it by its cover, and you're going to say that is who knows? It's like an arts and craft book or something like that. It's a coloring book. Some kids did it, but that's the perception that you're gonna make based off what's in the book. You can't tell what's inside the book. Well, what is really inside of the book? What's really inside of this book is my notes, right? These are my notes, and the book was blank. And my kids decided, they said, Daddy, we're going to design your book for you. And they put these stickers all over the book. So my point is, people judge books by the cover. This is my notebook, and I know what's inside of here because I've gotten to know the book. I've experienced the book. That's me, right? But other people are going to make other and certain judgments based off the cover of the book. So no matter how much we want people to not judge books by the cover, they do. And here's what your action item is. Find out how people are judging you, right? We had a conversation. It was like, here's a question that I also developed based off that conversation. Who would you like to handle your professional affairs, right? Someone that's going to casually do it or someone that's going to professionally do it, right? Typically, the reason why I say that is because typically the opposite of professional is casual, right? You want a casual working on your professional affairs, or do you want a professional working on your professional affairs? Right. And we have to get outside of our feelings. Oh, you can't judge a book. No, yeah, we shouldn't, but we do. Right. So we've got to stop fighting so hard we got to stop fighting against reality so hard. People judge books by the cover, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. No matter what I tell you about the cover of this book, right? You're going to say what's inside of this book is real estate marketing implementation. That's the cover. That's what the cover says. The back cover, the front cover. That's what you're going to do. You're going to judge it because that's what's on the book. And the same thing with human nature and human reality. The way we dress, the way we act, those things affect how people perceive us. And you do have some control over that. You can adjust it. You can change it. Just like I told you the story about me changing my appearance and getting treated better based off how I was dressed. That's human nature. That's what people do. Okay. So I just wanted to share those stories because we get emotional and we make things all about ourselves. Yes, people shouldn't judge a book by its cover. They shouldn't. It might be wrong, but we do. And that's the bottom line. So I appreciate you watching. Now, since I brought it up, here's what you can do. If you're in real estate, you can go get you a copy of my book, right? My romance. It's all about romance. Don't judge the book by its cover. It's all about romance. Go get you a copy of my romance real estate marketing implementation. All you got to do is there's a QR code like right there. You can scan it if you're watching on your phone or your computer. It's a QR code you can scan. I don't recommend you can't scan that, but if you're like watching on your phone, but you can visit my website, remarketingbook.com. That'll take you there. Also got some free resources for you, remarketingbook.com/free. And you can see on the bottom of my screen, the website is scrolling across the screen. So you can visit that website to get you a copy. All you got to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I'll send you a free copy of my romance real estate marketing implementation, right? Don't believe what I'm saying. Don't believe what the book says. Believe what I'm telling you. This is a romance book. It's a romance. Don't judge the book by its cover. So, jokingly, this book is really about real estate marketing implementation. People judge books by the cover. If you want help with implementation on your marketing, go get this book. It's going to tell you everything that you need to do, how to implement it into your business. My name is Jerome Lewis. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the inside. Bye-bye.